Good evening and welcome to the January 2015 edition of Curriculum Connection. I'm Medford's Curriculum Director, Laura Lundy. We all know that money can't buy happiness, but can it buy you better health? In 2010, the Medford Phy Ed department set out to answer that question. Now, 5 years later, they have an answer. Climbing walls, fitness centers, snowshoes, bikes, the list goes on and on. In 2010, the Medford School District applied for and received a physical education grant worth over $600,000. This money was spent over a period of 3 years to purchase new equipment and provide training for our staff. The items then made it possible to change curriculum, attitudes, and the fitness levels of students. High school Phy Ed teacher Renette Lehman explains.
It was a really rejuvenating thing for me as a teacher that I felt I was getting a little stagnant in what I was doing, and now with all the different pieces of equipment and the options that we have, it's just kind of like a breath of fresh air. And I think too, as a professional, being able to go to a national convention was huge, where you could collaborate with other professionals and bring home some really awesome ideas that I think now that our kids are benefiting from.
Middle school Phy Ed teacher Dave Vara agrees.
Well, we've definitely improved our cardiovascular rooms at the high school, the middle school, even the elementary. Kids are having more opportunities to get on treadmills, bikes, giving us extra space. Instead of being in the gyms, kids can go in those cardio rooms and actually work on their fitness level.
According to elementary PE teacher Sue Fitzgerald, even the young kids are getting more active.
By incorporating a lot of these new things, they're getting out there, being more active, and it's getting them a little more involved after school. They're a little bit more into the biking. They're talking about snowshoeing on weekends with their families, so that's really been a big help.
Medford junior and senior students are old enough to have experienced Phy Ed before and after the grant, and they all say that the new classes and equipment have improved their physical fitness and their attitudes toward being healthier.
Last year in Bigger, Faster, Stronger, I learned how to make my own weightlifting program, and that helped me a lot. So I know how to put different lifts together.
Well, it's probably not what we do during Phy Ed, but once the class is over, I'm really in shape. I took this class last year, and I decided to take it again because it benefited me a lot.
By adding new sports into the curriculum, Medford students have found new interests that they may not have had before. Sparked by the addition of archery in school, an elementary and middle school archery club was founded 3 years ago. And last year, the 4th and 5th grade team won first place at state competition. And although Medford, Wisconsin has snow 6+ months out of the year, before the grant, not all students have had the opportunity to snowshoe. Like 5th grader Brian. If it wasn't for Phy Ed, have you ever snowshoed before?
No, I never snowshoed.
Like all new activities, students had mixed reactions to the new sport.
Well, I just fell over there. Yeah, I like it because it's easier to walk on.
One of the requirements of the grant was to track the physical fitness of students, which Medford teachers still do using a program called FitnessGram. And according to the results, students have positively increased their fitness levels over the past 5 years.
We purchased a FitnessGram, which we use across the board at all 3 or all 4 buildings here on the public school system, and I believe that's a good tracking device that as teachers during our PLC time we've collaborated with one another. We're monitoring student growth. Not only do we see their growth physically on paper, but we also see it in terms of an attitude change too towards that of their fitness level.
From 3 years ago, doing the PACER test, our scores I've gone anywhere from 15 to 20 to now kids are getting 25, 30. It's no big thing for them. I mean, I think every Phy Ed teacher would tell you that the scores have definitely improved.
The community has also benefited from the new equipment in the last 5 years. The high school fitness room is open and free to community members in the mornings from 6:45 to 7:30 and again at night from 3:30 to 7 p.m. Fitness Center Supervisor Chuck Zenner says that community members enjoy the facility.
They love it. In fact, just this morning I had 3 ladies say this is just absolutely great. We have more machines here than a lot of other fitness centers, and they just love being able to come down here and work out. The average number of people here, I would say in the mornings it's always a little slower, but in the morning I would say anywhere from 8 to 10 people in the morning from the community are here, besides the kids that come down from the sports teams. At night I would say anywhere from 20 to 25 people come in.
A hurdle hurdle that the Medford District is working to overcome is the continual maintenance of the equipment.
I think the greatest challenge that I see coming up is more from the perspective of maintenance. How are we going to maintain all the equipment down in the fitness center? When things do start to break down and are no longer functioning like we need them to, where and how will we go about replacing and or fixing the equipment?
The biggest challenge is upgrading all of our equipment, you know. I mean, things wear out. I mean, computers wear out, computers on the bikes wear out, bikes wear out. Where are we going to get the money to help us keep that equipment, you know, going in our system?
Currently, the district is working on a plan to set aside money for yearly maintenance so we can keep providing these great opportunities for our kids and community far into the future.
I think it's just a great thing. You know, it's kind of put a lot of spice and vinegar in Phy Ed. Everybody's, we collaborate together, we work together, and I think people are more excited about teaching physical education.
In the end, money can't buy happiness, but it sure can buy a lot of amazing opportunities that the Medford School District would not have had it not been for the Carol M White Grant. As we celebrate the 5-year anniversary of this grant, the district will continue to look for ways to maintain the equipment and the health of our students and community. For Curriculum Connection, I'm Laura Lundy.